The plan lawmakers passed to ban THC products faces intense opposition.
Old people, veterans, sick people, regular people who need help for sleep are all going to become criminals.
The lieutenant governor mounts his own campaign to back the ban.
This is to save an entire generation of being hooked on drugs. And I need for y'all to take this story seriously.
We look at what's at stake with the ban now in the hands of the governor. Plans to shore up the state's water supply will soon be in the hands of voters.
If Texas doesn't have enough water, we're looking at a multi-billion-dollar hit to the state's economy.
What experts say the plan does and does not do to address long-term water needs in Texas. Legislation to prevent tragedies like this failed to pass at the Capitol. Our investigators examine the lobbying effort that worked to block the bill.
Produced from the Capitol in Austin and airing statewide, this is the award-winning State of Texas.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Josh Hinkle. Lawmakers advanced the bill to ban consumable products with hemp-derived THC. Now it's up to Governor Greg Abbott to decide whether the bill becomes law. As opponents push for a veto, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick made a high-profile call to support the ban. On Tuesday, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick called a news conference saying he'd provide snacks and drinks, but he said they weren't meant to consume.
So this is everything you can buy at a smoke shop and a vape shop that will either cause potentially paranoia, schizophrenia, tremendous health issues for you.
The Lieutenant Governor taking aim at the media, saying Texans need to see more reporting on the dangers of THC.
The young man who was 22, who stepped in front of a train after he ate some of this junk, he wasn't a kid, he was an adult.
Patrick held up a bag of THC cereal bites before tossing it in the direction of reporters.
What are you, crazy? You want to go home and eat a bag of this tonight? See if you're here tomorrow?
Austin-based consumable hemp company Hometown Hero makes the snacks that Patrick singled out. They pushed back on his claims that people don't know what's in their products.
Flip it around and look at the ingredients, QR code, look at the test results. It's all there.
Company leaders say a THC ban will hurt Texans who use products like theirs.
Old people, veterans, sick people, regular people who need help for sleep are all going to become criminals.
Patrick said those who need THC for medical use will get it in a controlled way. He touted legislation to expand TCUP, the Texas Compassionate Use Program. It would raise the amount of licensed providers and establish satellite locations to reach more Texans.
It will be the largest medical cannabis program, regulated medical cannabis program in the country, and probably the most well-designed.
Patrick expressed confidence that Governor Abbott would sign Senate Bill 3 into law.
I speak with the governor every day.
About this?
Look, I'm not going to speak for the governor, okay? He will do what he's going to do.
We reached out to the governor's office. They sent a response saying, quote, Governor Abbott will thoughtfully review any legislation sent to his desk. We want to give a little more context. Our team got perspective from two former state lawmakers. Dennis Bonnen is a former House Speaker who represented Southeast Texas, and Mark Strama served as a Democratic representative for the Austin area. They looked at the larger stakes highlighted by the Lieutenant Governor's news conference.
Is it interesting that one of the best communicators we've ever seen in Texas politics drove his message? This is what Dan Patrick's really good at doing. It's a great move Republicans like to make. It's the press that didn't get it right. The press script, who I actually saw really coming hard at the Lieutenant Governor on the ban of hemp, was more social media and conservative voices in social media and veterans and those type folks. I mean, you know, no disrespect, I hope it doesn't come off that way, but to the media, I didn't see y'all as a big part of that. I saw a lot of social media influence from conservative voices, veterans voices. Those type voices are who I think put the Lieutenant Governor back on his heels.
Well, where this gets interesting is on that question. This is the most unpopular bill the legislature has passed. Vouchers is unpopular with Democratic partisans. The THC issue is banning THC is unpopular across the board. I think the governor's got to decide, going into a election year, running for re-election presumably, does he want to sign a bill that takes away a right people in Texas have grown attached to, when he may be facing the most adverse political climate he's ever had to run in? I mean, look, I've never been one to be overly optimistic about Democrats' chances in this state. During the time I've been in politics, we haven't won anything. But you're looking at a very unpopular president in an off year with potentially a pretty bad economy if the president has his way, and passing a very unpopular bill like THC, and a bill that didn't have any real support among the grassroots, like the voucher bill.
So
It's a tough record to run on.
I disagree, but in fairness to Governor Abbott, I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to do what Governor Abbott always does that I don't know if enough people understand. He's a lawyer, he was a judge, a Supreme Court judge, he was Attorney General. He's going to do what he does every session when it ends. He is going to study these issues. I think that teacup bill is one he's going to look seriously hard at when it gets to his desk. And what do those two bills together create in the environment for Texans who have pain and need? Greg Abbott is not a surface level governor. He dives into the issues. He'll understand these things.
Governor Abbott has until June 22nd to decide whether to sign the legislation, veto it, or let it go into effect without his signature. Texas lawmakers pour billions of dollars into projects to shore up the state's water supply, but some experts say it might not be enough to meet our long-term water needs.
We just need more people who are specialized in this work, and creating an incentive program makes total sense.
A bill to improve the way Texas investigates death failed to pass at the Capitol, but even though it's not becoming law, it's still making an impact.